So I don't know if you know, but weekend 2 of Coachella just ended. Have you ever been to a Coachella?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Which one? Who did you see?
I don't even know. I went, maybe, is it possible that it was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That's
It
when I
started
went.
in 95,
Yeah.
I think.
I went in, about then. Yeah.
So then I asked my co-host, who's nowhere to be seen,
Maybe he's hiding in these clothes.
possibly. There are 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Who would your 3 headliners be?
For 3 days?
Yeah. Anybody. Any artists, any singers, any instrumentalists.
I would love Peter Gabriel.
Okay. 1. You have 2 more.
He could do the whole show for me. Oh, I don't know where I'm looking, but the whole show for me because I love him. Hall & Oates.
Ooh, okay. From Philly.
I
Shout out
love Hall
Philly.
& Oates. I love Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
I love
Bruce Springsteen. Speaking
love
of
him.
which, we're a fashion podcast. He's got great fashion.
Yes.
Do you know that they're working on a film where, what's his name? Jeremy Allen White is playing Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
It's a biopic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has great style.
He wears white T-shirts very well, which is something that I've always wished I could do. Let's get into the show, baby. I'm going to put on a white T-shirt. What's going on, guys? This is Manly Things,
Sort of.
a podcast talking about men's fashion, men's culture, men's everything you can think of. My name is Sally John, and I'm going to do my best in hosting this episode because the main guy is gone. Next to me, the beautiful, the illustrious, the ACE Award winning, the bungee workout extraordinaire, director, actor, singer, dancer, Mimi Maynard. Round of applause. Mimi, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Did I get everything right?
Not everything, but it's okay. I'll take it.
Give me something like important that I missed?
Nothing.
All right. I see I nailed it. Today we're talking about a few things. We're going to go over some fashion from a show that this lady directed, an English dub. We'll get into what she's doing more specifically in just a second. But we're getting a new perspective from a different kind of person than we've ever had because we're typically talking to other stylists, other people in the sort of similar realm. But this is someone who's above us, a director.
A voice director.
A voice director. You have this thing about monochromatic looks because you're always wearing top to bottom one thing.
Yeah, or pattern on pattern things.
Similar tones.
Yeah. Or sometimes you haven't seen me in that mode. I will wear completely opposite tones. And people go, well, what is that?
Oh, I haven't seen that
No,
before.
you will. You will. You haven't known me that long. But I wear a Mimi Couture.
That's right.
That's how I dress. That's how I've always dressed. I'm not a label person, so to speak. I love vintage.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything that comes from vintage and is styled to the contemporary part of our lives, great styles come from vintage styles. So I have been doing this since many, many decades, since I'm 18. And I love anything from, I don't know, you want to talk about 20s, 30s, 40s, not so much 50s.
Well, you mentioned that even when you were younger, you were vintage shopping, which
Totally vintage shopping.
I'm sure some of the finds you were getting back then
Unbelievable.
were wild. The craftsmanship
So
back
different.
then was way different and
So
way
different.
more articulate.
If you buy anything today, I mean, authentically from the 20s or 30s, 40s, and you look at how, suits are made, how gowns are made, shirts are made, it's not even a contest.
Right. You mentioned that you're not into labels, but can you name all of the designers or all of the things that you're wearing right now, or where you got them at least?
I got some of this stuff at Free People, which is my favorite place. One of my favorite places. The shoes, I forgot where I got these shoes.
Very cool.
I think they're Jessica Simpson, actually. I saw them. They popped up on my computer screen, and I went, oh, that's a must. I wanted them in every color because that's what I do.
Oh,
But
I love the pearl accents. And
I
the
love the
socks.
pearl.
You always wear the coolest socks.
And socks, yeah. I get socks from Hot Socks.
Hot socks?
Hot Socks.
Okay.
And I like very sheer socks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like heavy socks.
That's what I've noticed. You always play with patterns really on your socks.
Yeah, I wear patterns, and I like to wear pattern on pattern, but yeah, tonight I'm wearing sort of.
And I think, is that a Johnny Was shirt?
No.
Whoa.
No.
I don't know my brands anymore.
No, but it's a Johnny Was ripoff.
Oh, okay.
And I do have a lot of Johnny Was because I love embroidery.
Uh-huh.
It reminds me a lot of the 20s, 30s. Dresses, suits. They had not this ornate, but they had, pearls and rhinestones and fringe and yolks and, so my thing.
What about the sweater?
The sweater came from
Because that's great. I've
Target?
always liked red and pink together.
Target.
Oh my God. Nice. Oh, was that from one of the designer capsule collections that they had?
They probably, because I loved pink and red together.
Very cool.
I mean, this is so awesome together. And then I actually was going to wear a huge floral top underneath this, but I don't know. I wasn't in the mood. I wanted kind of the red on whatever.
Too many patterns.
Oh, I love to. There's no
Just
such
kidding.
thing as too many patterns. Ask my home.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. We'll go over one time with all the cameras. Just kidding. I'm wearing my Granny Smith apple colored Guides.
Fantastic.
These are from Dr. Collectors. I, again, haven't taken these off for weeks. This is from Res Ipsa. You ever heard of that brand?
No.
They were in Malibu. Now they're on Larchmont.
Oh, I have been in there.
Yeah, very cool spot.
They're very cool.
Everything's
it's very cool.
handmade, hand embroidered.
I love it.
Underneath, I just have this from Target, and this is a hat from Hollywood Hatters, another really cool place.
Oh, I love hats.
Great. They have really cool vintage and new hats.
Yeah, I love hats. Cowboy hats, vintage hats, berets. I have a collection of sequin berets, wool berets, embroidered berets.
I wanted to try berets.
They look great on
I was
you.
going between the Norwegian newsboy cap and a beret. The beret, I don't think with what I wear nowadays, I don't think it's the right way. Yeah. I mean,
I love this look on you.
thanks. I do too. Some people don't, but
Oh,
I mean,
love
it's
it.
new. People are so used to seeing me wear baseball caps. So wearing something out of the box and a little more
Everybody
abstract.
wears baseball caps in California.
Stand out a little bit.
And they wear them backwards. They wear them to the side. It's so boring. Really.
It's become a casual hat for me. I try not to wear as I go out to dinner with you the other night wearing a baseball cap.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oops. Okay, good.
I don't remember
it didn't
that.
happen.
I didn't remember that. Well, doesn't say much.
A little bit about the connection between her and I. I can't believe I'm telling you this because you're not supposed to know anything about my life. I recently got into voice acting. Throwback to me being on Broadway and stuff, but I wanted to just only use one thing because I'm old and don't know how to dance anymore. I Googled private voice acting coaching, and she was the first one that popped up. So I emailed her. Mm-hmm. She graciously accepted it, and we've been on this journey for 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah, roughly.
And it's been
So fun.
so fun.
You're like giving birth to yourself in a whole other way.
Trying to.
Oh, you are.
It's a little tight, but I'm getting out.
You are. You are.
So what do? You have a school called Voice Masters, which is
I have an animation school. I co-own an animation school called Voice Masters. It's now international. I've had it for 5 years. Just to give you a little background, I spent my life, my adult life, whatever part of my life, coaching people because it came easy to me. And I never charged anybody. When I was producing movie animation, especially, animation, I would just coach my people or friends or whatever, and then I put them in the movie if it was apropos. And then I teamed up with Paulette Lifton, And she's saying to me, Mimi, why aren't you making money doing this? I said, because this is not my identity. I do it because it's easy, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and I don't have time. I mean, I don't have time. That's not where my focus is. And so I said, you want to do this with me? We'll do it. Well, on a lark, we did it. We put out flyers online, and we got 150 RSVPs, and we were in a little studio.
Before you even started?
Before we even
Wow.
started. They came to the studio. I looked at her. She looked at me. She goes, what do we do? And I say, we punt. So that's what we did, and we started our journey. It's become, knock on wood, a huge community for voiceover.
And it's such a well-oiled machine.
It is a well-oiled machine. We've added so many other perks, all dealing with voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
And great teachers, all working teachers that are in the business. So you're not working with people that, got out of the business 20 years ago. These are all working teachers that are actually doing their thing. I mean, I cast, I voice direct, I produce as well, as does Paulette, who's won 2 or 3 Emmys already. She won a whole bunch of Sovis voiceover awards this year. And we have a lot of students that are thriving doing video games, animation, dubbing. So we've just created this whole thing. We have Friday night lunch called Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Booth, Tales from the Crypt. That's my private story. And then Voice Masters and special guests, and people tune in from all over the place. Mm-hmm. And we give tips. Questions are answered. We do workout rooms on Fridays at noon. We've been doing it since COVID. And now we have a big community of voiceover people. And I'm thrilled.
Yeah. And it's very cool to be a part of it. And little do you know probably, but voiceover work is such a taboo corner in this industry. It's, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, especially with dubbing and things of the similar.
Yeah.
It's in the latter half of production.
Oh yeah, it's called below the line.
So it's not something that you necessarily hear about all the time, but it's so important, especially different language dubbing. And
dubbing is a whole art form unto itself. It's not like above the line where you're what they call, you have these, looping groups that, are basically, big group people that do background sound, and they also do roles from time to time. But this is a much more concentrated, harder part of voiceover than looping. You really have to know the craft of what you need to learn and know for dubbing, because you're basically taking a foreign language and recreating it all over again in English. Mm-hmm. And you have to cast people that are the essence of the original character. And so that actor has to know, boom, what to do. They get no information. You get the audition. You're not allowed to see the show because it's under wraps, and you very, very protective security wise. So you're basically coming in and doing everything cold, with the direction of a voiceover director. But you have to go to school. I mean, you have to take classes so that you know what is expected of you.
You know so much about this, and now I'm curious because I don't think maybe I have dug into this, but everyone needs to know. Where did you come from, and how did you get here?
The moon?
Really quickly.
I was New York. Definitely from somewhere else. I was from New York. That's where I was brought up. That's where I went to school. That's where I was an actress for a long time. And I told you today, I attribute most of what I know, beside being a writer's daughter, is my acting background and my own experience as to what I've learned, what I can convey to other people. So I was in New York. I was brought out here for a very big project. I rented my apartment out, blah, blah, blah. It ended up falling apart at the 11th hour. I was, what? And there was no way I wanted to stay here. I went, these are all people they're actors here. It's a different world. You go to school in New York, it's as you know, a whole different way of being.
Yeah.
But I was talked into staying here. So I was bi-coastal for a while. And this casting director really believed in me, and he started putting me into shows. And I got into a big workshop, very exclusive workshop at Columbia Pictures. I did that. I was really heavily involved with Universal. This is all all acting stuff. And I basically left acting during my third divorce. And I said, I'm done. I was on a show. I was doing LA Law. And I went, I'm done. I need to recreate myself, reinvent myself. Didn't know what I was going to do. And I fell into animation, producing animation.
So well.
And I love animation.
Yeah.
And I love directing animation. And from soup to nuts. I mean, it's from the beginning to the end. It isn't necessarily dubbing, the actors creating the role. So it's a whole different world. But I love both. And then I ended up out here. I ended up producing about 6 or 7 animated features with 2 other partners from LA. Our other partners were in Europe. We put together this whole team. One of our guys created and wrote the scripts. We jumped in and helped, facilitate it. My other partner was Dominic Paris, Gina Gallo, and Mimi Maynard. And so we ended up creating it, casting it, voice directing it. And we just made it up. And somebody believed in us in Europe, and we ended up working with them for 15 years.
Great.
They ended up working a lot longer than I did, but I needed to move on. I needed to recreate myself again. But yeah, I loved anime. I love animation. I love anything voiceover.
Speaking of animation and going back to the beginning, has your acting training influenced your fashion or like the way that you think about getting dressed at all?
I don't know the answer to that. I know I have always been, since I'm a teeny weeny thing, very, very style oriented. Mm-hmm. And I'm like that not only in my dress, but in my environments.
Yeah.
Everything is always, I look at rooms and I go, you're screaming turquoise on the walls. You want a piece of artwork here. You want a fantastic, I just would see and color. I'm a big color person.
Same thing with looking in the mirror and trying
dressing.
To figure out what you're wearing.
And I always loved style. Yeah. I always loved dressing. I loved it.
Where did you learn it from? Magazines?
No.
Movies?
No.
Or is it natural?
It's natural. Yeah. I did not really have a particular person that influenced me.
That was my next question. Okay.
Nobody influenced me.
Not even Vivian Westwood?
Well, kind of. But not really. No, because I just always had my own, I always beat to my own drum. And I just had a propensity to be able to put patterns together. And that's how I dressed. But I will say that vintage definitely influenced me.
How about men's fashion? On our way here, you mentioned that you were always wearing vintage men's stuff.
Yeah, at a very young age, I was wearing men's suits. My mother said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Nothing's wrong with me," because, then nobody did that. But I wore men's suits, men's ties, suspenders, hats. I started with that. Just great old suits. High-waisted.
Yeah.
And I love them now.
1930s, 40s?
20s, 30s. Yeah, 20s, 30s, 40s. My favorite.
Unbelievable.
Not 50s, as I said. 60s, that's already in contemporary for me at that point.
Mm-hmm.
No, I liked really those eras, Nouveau, Deco, and a lot of my environments that I lived in were that too. So,
how about nowadays regarding men's fashion? Are you drawing any influences? Do you pay attention to fashion in any capacity?
yes, I would say I do. I look at different catalogs.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of things sent to me on my, on Facebook, on Instagram. People will say, Mimi would love this, I love magazines.
Mm-hmm.
I love magazines. And I love old magazines, old designer magazines with fashion.
Fashion books.
Fashion
Every time I
books.
go into not a library, a bookstore, straight to the fashion books.
I love fashion. Men's fashion, women's fashion, animal fashion. I'm not kidding. I mean, I love it all.
Do you dress your dogs?
Oh, yes.
I don't have any clothes for my dog.
No, mine are ridiculous. Well, they're royalty like myself. They're Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Yeah.
So they had, don't ask, snow stuff, I would love to like vegetable, tie-dye their hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I haven't done that yet. So I only did my own.
Ooh, I don't know if I would ever do that with mine.
Well, no, I don't. You have a redhead. It's already there. I do too, actually, but a little blue, a little purple.
Before we get too deep in dog culture, we're a fashion podcast, and you have previously worked on the English dub of one of the most popular reality television shows called
Love is Blind. But I work. I let me clarify this. I do the English dubs.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
in different languages. So voiceover. So it's Brazil. The first season, not so much, but the rest of them, the craziest people I've ever fucked.
I mean, I've never seen the show, but I've heard the American one is
No, I did
quite
Love
silly.
is Blind Brazil. I did Love is Blind Mexico. I did Love is Blind Japan so far. And then I've done Too Hot to Handle. I mean, I don't even know how I fell into this because I like doing sync. But I become like this person that does all these crazy shows.
And they all look horrible.
Oh, and the people.
Doing it.
And the people.
These are
the Brazil. Yeah.
These are four guys from, I believe, the American season. I think last season.
Of Love is Blind.
Of Love is Blind.
They're crazy. They're
So I
really
hear.
out of their minds. Okay.
The first guy we have in a navy blue suit with a sort of skin tone beige t-shirt, black, just regular dress shoes. But what I will say about this guy, the jawline, impeccable. Hair, the grooming, he looks great.
He does look great.
Second guy, we have him wearing a tweed suit jacket with a white t-shirt. These awful,
Well, I don't
fitting
understand.
jeans.
No, the jeans are very unflattering, I might say. And I hope he's wearing socks, or is that the color of his?
Nope, bare skin
Oh, yeah, no.
and
See,
brown loafers.
No, this doesn't work for me. The whole thing with the shirt, no. And the hair, I don't know what happened with his hair.
He was stressed. He lost it a little bit.
Stressed?
Kind of like me.
No. You're
Well, with
very
the way he's dressed.
You're very stylish, but no, that doesn't work for me at all.
Third guy, and I think one of my favorites, but we'll get to it.
Fabulous.
Beautiful, like terracotta colored
Fabulous.
suit with a nice floral print.
Love it.
Dress shirt, olive sort of fatigue green slacks rolled up a little bit. I don't love rolling up pants, but he's doing it very well with his white socks and yellow desert boots, I think.
I love it. That whole look for me, I love.
Final guy is
No.
wearing a
No.
sort of oversized, double-breasted,
No.
peach-colored
No.
suit with a tan dress shirt and
No.
just casual sneakers.
No. That clearly, he's clearly uncomfortable.
Well, what I will say about all of them is other than our third guy in the red suit jacket, everyone looks very uncomfortable. And I think specifically because none of these pieces are tailored to them. It seems like, and I'm sure it's like this on reality television, they have something similar to what we're looking at here. And they just go, yeah, you kind of fit in this. Why don't you just wear this for this scene?
I have to tell you, for Brazil, everyone's half naked. So the women, God bless them, the whole thing is about boobage.
Oh.
So unless
Well, it is
your
a dating
boobs,
show after all.
yeah, but the boobs are hanging out to a point. It doesn't matter. They start here. They can start here. I don't know, but and then the larger women are even more tatted than the skinny women.
And you hate tattoos.
I am not a tattoo girl.
Oy.
I must tell you, I am not a tattoo girl. But for me, mainly because I can't have anything that I can't take off.
Mm-hmm.
So if I couldn't take off any of these jewels, I'd be in an institution somewhere. That's just me.
What about the men on Brazil?
The worst.
Yeah, they were like wearing T-shirts and jeans.
No. But they're all tatted and they're all. It's gross, and the jewelry in the face. This is not anything against you because I adore you.
Yikes!
But some of the things that are in their face, I just go, check, please. No, this doesn't work for me. But Brazil, it never ceases to amaze me, or has been up until now, as to what they look like. Now, this next season I'm doing is all older people.
Oh.
So I'm going to find this very
kind of
interesting. Yeah, older people. Let's see if we can put you in it.
Oh. Wowee.
You're not older, but you have a deep voice.
Well, I've been told I'm an old soul as well.
Yes, you're an old soul. Well, that shows.
Next up
Is?
going back to one of our original topics in this show, Coachella.
Oh, yes.
Are you aware that Coachella is essentially a fashion show nowadays? The point of going to Coachella is no longer to see these acts. It's to show off, show out, be noticed, and have your picture taken by a ton of people.
Oh, how fabulous.
It's pretty cool. However, when you think about it, they're doing it in like 120-degree weather in
Yeah,
the desert.
that's not so fabulous.
In enormous crowds of people where it's getting all dirty.
No.
So really,
No.
fit works for the first hour.
Yeah, no.
And then they probably get changed.
No. I would be running for my life.
I know.
Running for my life. In that kind of heat?
Forget about it.
No.
This guy, I want to point him out because
In the red?
last week we did a little more extensive review on some of the fans that went to Coachella. But this gentleman here this person here blew my mind when I saw this image. It's so, and it reminded me of you. They have lace pants on with
I
this
have
like
those.
90s or Y2K style belt.
I have that belt. How weird you said that. See those lace pants?
Yeah.
Oh, I have them. They flare out. Some of them are two-toned. So it's red, navy blue, and black. Oh, no. That's my kind of thing.
The shirt is torn to pieces, but very artistically and modestly. A fur cropped jacket with a tiny little heart purse. He nailed this. Absolutely nailed this.
I'm not crazy about the shirt.
Well,
I mean,
think about
I
it.
know
He's
it's
hot.
a thing. It's a hot thing. Yeah, it's not my kind of thing. I would have loved to have seen a whole other deal there.
Then I want to bring up Post Malone, who, this is a note to Evan because he's such a country guy. And by the way, I myself am getting a lot of shit in real life for my co-host Evan saying that he wanted his first headlining act to be Morgan Wallen and Zach Bryan. I don't like them and I don't condone their behaviors in the past. So that's his opinion, not mine. Post Malone, however, did 2 weekends in a row. The first weekend, I can't remember what he wore, but this is very attractive and very appealing to me. And I wish that...
Is that his arm?
Yeah, he's completely... Do you know who Post Malone is?
Oh.
See his face?
Oh, no.
So this guy's got great style.
Uh-huh.
He comes from a hip hop background. He was like rapping and doing R&B and stuff. Now he's gone full country, and his style has done the same. He's always wearing really nice vintage Levi's or yes.
Okay, so that being said, I'm going to interject. This is where Ryan Michael vintage Western shirts would be stupendous on him because he can rip them up, do what he wants, but they're so the original. I'm talking about the heavy linen cotton with all the hand weaved detail.
What decades,
Fabulous.
what era would you find the real ones or the most authentic?
I would say it started late 90s. They're not like vintage, like 40s.
Yeah, but they're nicer.
But they're rip-offs,
Right?
and great ones of vintage Western stars, like the Ken Maynards of the,
Are there any trends or pieces or styles that you would like to see come back in men's fashion?
I love Western looks on guys.
You love Evan.
I love Western looks. I love the whole thing. The belts, the buckles, the great boots. There's so many delicious boots. I love cowboy hats, and I just love the whole feel of a Western look and a Western blazer that's embroidered. They had, I have forgot, Kings in LA used to have, they're no longer here, but they had the most incredible men's blazers that were embroidered on the shoulders and in the back, just a little in the back, but stunning. And it was just great on a whole Western look. I love that myself.
It's funny that you mentioned that because last year, Western was huge in the fashion world. Specifically, Pharrell Williams, who took over the creative chair of Louis Vuitton, went total Western, which then prompted everybody else to go. However, I think it was a flop. I don't think any of the major fashion houses pulled off the Western archetype and with their own sort of flair or style.
I'll tell you what was missing, and this is, of course, is a very, very me thing. I will always throw in a bling thing. So if I had a Western or you had a Western outfit on, I would find a fantastic bling sequined vest or great sequined boots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a pair of boots by Margiela. They're like bejeweled cowboy boots.
Oh, fantastic.
Yum.
They're yummy.
They're $7,000.
That's okay. Just a drop in the bucket. And then, yeah, I would do that. That's what I do with my own Western stuff because I have a lot of Western stuff. But I throw on blazers. I'll throw on a blazer that I got from some vintage sale that's all sequins with a Ryan Michael cowboy shirt underneath. And then I'll have lots of bling, like one great piece of bling on my wrist.
Yeah.
And maybe around my neck. It depends. Maybe just a simple rhinestone long chain feeling. And then great earrings.
I agree with you. However, I come from, or I'm seeing the bling aspect in more patterns and pops of color because I think Western, as we look around, because that's Evan's forte. It's I don't want to say it's drab and it's like dull in color, but it does have a very specific palette.
It does.
Therefore, the one thing Pharrell did well was add turquoise to a lot of his pieces, which created an interest and something interesting to look at.
The turquoise for me got overbearing.
It's a little cliche.
Yeah, it's too cliche for me. You heard me not even say one thing about turquoise because I'd rather put a vintage piece on.
Yeah.
Like get one of those great, Kirk Foley old cuffs that has a moon on it to go with, roll up that shirt and you see something entirely different. I love to mix and match. I think it's all about being eclectic.
And I think most styles nowadays, accessorizing, there are so many companies and artists making some very interesting accessories, and it only adds. I mean, as Evan once said, add as many accessories as you can and as you want, and take off until you think that it's okay. So start overwhelm yourself with a look.
And then I'll take it off.
Right.
I had a huge piece on this morning. Actually, it's one you saw. It was a huge starburst that you had seen on me before. Too much. I decided to go a little bit more subdued.
Well, you're already a pro. I don't have to give you that advice then.
But I love that idea.
Okay, now I want to go back and I want to help the audience a little bit. Well, the audience that are actors and people that are auditioning. When a guy walks into a room and you're auditioning them, do you pay attention to what they're wearing? Is that part of the, I don't want to say judgment, but like, do you have a thing if a guy walks in wearing sweatpants and a tank top, or a guy that walks in wearing a button down and nice slacks and shoes?
You mean for voiceover?
For auditioning.
Yeah, that's
for voiceover.
For voiceover.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that. I think people should dress for whatever it is they're doing business-wise. A lot of people show up in sweats and slippers and, very unattractive tops. However, when they're in front of that microphone and they come to life, all of that
cares?
goes away.
Yeah.
But I do always notice what people wear and come in. But that's not a judgment. I just notice it and I go, that's interesting. Great look. But they could have a great look and get behind the microphone and sound like shit. And you're going, great look, not happening. No. But me, yes, I always notice what people wear.
Is there a particular aspect of an outfit that you look at first? Me personally, I'm always looking at shoes first.
Of course.
Really?
You're talking to a woman who has shoes in every color.
True, right.
In every, I can't even tell you how embarrassing it is. Shoes and jewelry.
Man, I wish I had the collections that you have.
Or what, jewelry? Or
shoes and jewelry.
Yeah, well,
I go through like my 8 shoes and I wear the same jewelry every day.
No, your jewelry is spectacular.
Speaking of which,
I am very, very cognizant of what men wear as jewelry. My husband hates jewelry, but if you got him one of the bracelets you have on, it's so classy and so unique. I think it'd look great.
Yeah.
But not every man could do that.
Yeah, it's true.
I have a friend that can wear anything.
It's about the weight of the accessory too. I wear heavier things because I think
you're
me being a
guy.
bigger guy, it works.
Yeah.
I need your advice now because we're ending the show soon.
Okay.
And I like to ask my guests, do you have any, you've known me for several months now and you've seen me wear several different things. Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice or suggestions or compliments for me? I'm kidding.
No.
Advice or suggestions or feedback?
I'm going to give you feedback. I love your style. This is not something I would be normally attracted to as style, but it's your style. And it's very uniquely you, which when you own it, how can you not love it? In terms of my own personal feeling, because you're very eclectic. and you have fabulous taste, in my opinion. My thing is, and it's just personal, I don't understand all this tattoos. I'm sorry. The tattoos throw me. I'm going, who is that? Did you know that person? Who is that? And why do you have that written down? Is that a cursive or? And they're all over.
It's a little distracting, I'll be honest with you.
It's very distracting for me because it's not something I am attracted to.
Sure.
That, and you know what I'm going to say, the nose ring.
I know. Well,
your nose ring now is very tasteful, but I don't understand the
changed it.
people with the nose rings. You came in one day with
fashion, Mimi. This is a fashion podcast.
I'm sorry, darling. I don't care what fashion it would be, and I know. Here comes the train. And I know certain cultures. People come out and they have nose rings, and their fashion is of that culture. I understand that. I appreciate it, but it's not mine. I don't understand putting anything in your nose like that.
Listen, if that's the only point of feedback that you have, I consider myself perfect.
Yeah, no.
All right, I'll get rid of them.
No, they're part of you. Maybe on your fingers, but I really, no, I love you as who you are. And believe me, I'm so judgmental when it comes to tattoos.
Yeah, I know.
The guy that has this head full of them and the face, there's a woman that I saw that had her entire face was tattooed and her head bald. I was like this. You need to be institutionalized.
Oh man, we're gonna get canceled by the tattoo industry and the
No, it's just
community.
not my thing. Although I was thinking of putting a little dragonfly here for my sister who passed.
Yeah, not
I did a henna.
contradictory at all.
I did a henna. I can do henna because it goes away.
Yeah.
But I did kind of think about it, and I went, how hypocritical.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we are ending the show now. It's been such a pleasure, such a joy having Mimi on here with
Thank you.
a really interesting lens seeing that you see men's fashion through. And I like
Well, I'm also, to be honest, a lot older in generation.
barely.
I'm a lot older than this generation. So I'm coming from my own personal taste. And again, it's generational too. You know, a lot of this and all the things, you know, are all about what's happening now.
It's about fitting in.
Yeah.
And nose rings help us fit in.
I know.
I feel very safe with it. Anyway, if you want to hear some advice or if you want the two of us to rip you apart just like she did to me, email us at info@manlythingspod.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And I think that's all we're on, at manlythingspod. Do you want to shout out anything? You don't want to tell people to follow your social media, do you?
I'm very bad with my social media. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook.
Check out voicemasters.com. And if you want to learn from a master, from a pro,
you can definitely take our classes. And I am on Facebook as Mimi Maynard. And there's a lot of crazy things. I'm a big animal rescuer. But there's everything's on there. A lot of the dubs I do, a lot of the actors. I give away W awards.
oh, wait.
Mimi's W awards. Yeah. Every time someone works with me, they get all kinds of W awards. Those are two. I know they look like ducks, but they're not. They're W awards. So when you finish working with me, that's what you get in different golds and glitter and different colors and textures and all of that. Those are little ones. I have big ones too, but
This has been Manly Things.
sort of.